So how did I tank 7 Etsy shops before having the one that made me a top 0.5% seller on Etsy, and how you can avoid those mistakes that I made. And this is something that everyone should hear and see if they're thinking about selling on Etsy or they are selling on Etsy at the moment. So I started selling on Etsy in that shop right now that I mainly talk about, my main shop, almost 3 years ago, January 2023. But actually, before that, already I kind of started looking into different ways how to make more money, how to make more income. So just a little bit of backstory to make it all relevant and tie it all together. I was a personal trainer and an online coach at that time, more as a personal trainer, a group trainer, but I also had babies at home. And my maternity leave pay was ending January 2023. It was going to be the last month that I was going to get paid. And there wasn't any room in the kindergarten for my kids. So I didn't have that flexibility and time to go in person and do my trainings. And it would have and should have been just super early mornings and super late in the evenings. But I just also wanted to be a present mom. I had kids, I wanted to be there for them as well. So already like 3 months before, I think it was September 2022, I kind of started thinking about like, okay, the situation in the world is still a little bit iffy, and I kind of think I need to see something else out there as well, just to be sure, because I was already realizing that having just one income stream is not going to be stable in the long run. And I already actually started looking into Etsy, and before that, I do say I started actually selling on Etsy January 2023, because that was the start of me being serious about it. But before that, 3 months in September, I opened a shop. I opened it, didn't think much of it, put out some products. I just saw a planner shop, I saw printable planners, did some sheets, put some listings up, but I had like no drive. I had like zero drive, zero knowledge, zero anything. Put it up, kind of left it as it was, and that was it. So that was shop number 1. Opened it, just made some random planner designs on Canva, put them up without putting zero effort. I like had zero drive, because I knew that, okay, I had like a time ticking kind of a bomb situation, but it wasn't still like actually here, that January 2023 of me being like, okay, maternity leave pay ended, couldn't do my job as I did before, I gotta figure something out. And then January 2023 came, and I started to take that seriously. And that is when I started to work on that shop, my main shop that has made me have that Etsy success that I have. And then I think it was about like 1 or 2 months in, maybe, I had that shiny object syndrome. Something that us beginners, especially selling digital products and selling on Etsy, might have. We see there's so many different products that we could sell, that we could do, that we could offer, and we want to do them all. So I had my main shop that was focusing on social media templates, and then I also saw that, okay, I could do business templates, business cards, logos, and things like that, which seemed pretty low effort, that I could put more effort in quantity, also quality as well, but quantity, it didn't seem that difficult to put out more and more. So I actually had 2 different shops then as well. So I opened up 2 new shops when I was actually pretty new myself in my main shop. I had a business card shop and a logo shop. And then I have my social media template shop. So I was a total newbie, had this shiny object syndrome, had 3 shops. I was juggling 3 different Canva accounts, 3 different Etsy shops, and everything was like a mess. Trying to list 2 to 3 products to every single one of them, and pretty soon I felt super overwhelmed. And that was also, I think, around the 3-month mark that I mentioned in my first Etsy video, where I thought like, okay, I'm gonna give up. I didn't see that much of a growth that I then wanted to see and have, but I was also just stretching myself very thin here. And I quickly realized that I need to master one thing first, and then I can venture out from there. So I thought that, okay, why am I right now trying to build 3 different things at the same time, which are pretty similar actually, and why not put all of that effort and work together into one shop? So I closed the 2 shops, the business card shop and the logo shop, and I put those listings inside my main shop. So that was me already having 4 different shops at this point. And for the first year, I strongly focused on my main shop, putting out listings. And that was also when I put those listings in my main shop. That was the start of my hustle period, which I'm going to most probably talk about soon. That gave a big push of me reaching 1,000 orders. I wanted to reach that for my birthday, and it was, I think, about 6 or 7 days after my birthday, so almost 6.5 months being into my Etsy shop, I reached 1,000 orders. So that was my first year, and I didn't do anything crazy. I understood that, okay, as a beginner, I couldn't just do everything at once. I needed to focus on that to master my shop, to master the platform, to rather master SEO, better listing images, better products themselves. And then I was in my second year. And I felt pretty confident. I had a strong first year. The second year started super strong, and the second year on Etsy was a pretty good year for me. It was a pretty good growth compared to my first year, so I was growing. And then summer hit, and I was like, okay, but I have so many ideas, and I want to open up new shops. I didn't, again, not just open up one shop, I opened up 3 more shops. So I had then, beside my main shop, a invitation shop, a planner shop for Notion planners, Google Sheet planners, and then I had a PLR shop, so a resale shop where I made different templates, products that people could purchase for themselves and for their businesses, so that they could edit themselves, use themselves inside their own businesses. And I saw pretty fast sales in all of them. Actually, also those 2 previous shops at the very beginning, I had sales in them as well. But I just felt that I couldn't keep up with that. And if I wanted to see faster growth, I closed them. So the 3 new ones now, I saw pretty fast sales in all of them. The fastest sales were in my resale shop. The second one was my planner shop. The resale shop hit 100 sales. I think it was in about a month or maybe a month and a half. My planner shop got 68 sales in about maybe 2 months. And then I have my invitation shop, but in that shop I already felt like that was the shop that started to stay behind from the other shops, because I was juggling 4 Etsy shops. And that was the point where I also slowly started to give my knowledge out on Etsy to others as well. So I was stretching myself very, very thin here, even more than in my first year. And I was already starting to create social media content about digital products, about selling on Etsy, and it was just a lot of things. And at that point, I was just still doing my online coaching and personal training as well before I retired from that. So I had these open for some time, then I closed them as well. But it was now longer than just a month or two. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 months. I just kind of let them sit as they were. And then I soon realized, okay, I again do not have the capacity to juggle so many shops at that point. So we do see sellers who have an insane amount of shops, but it also depends a lot on the product. So because I have shops where I produce a lot of quantity as well, so that means having a lot of work for all of those shops. And if I would say it is absolutely okay to have multiple shops, and if you have a sole passion is Etsy, you can juggle multiple shops. But if you're a multi-passionate person like I am, I love Etsy, but I was at that point getting a little bit tired of Etsy. I still love Etsy, but still at that point right now as well, I'm a little bit tired because I just don't want to do only Etsy. I want to do different things. I want to do Etsy, I want to do content creation, I want to do a lot of different things. So again, I closed those shops, and the things that I could lift from those shops in my main shop, I did. So to just bring that all together, I've had so many shops before and between to get to the point where I am today. So I think maybe what I want to say today's video is totally unscripted, just coming and just blabbing here about what you could learn from this is that do not have that shiny object syndrome. You're going to burn yourself out. It's the same thing that you need to pick a side hustle, what you feel is the most doable for you right now in this very moment. If you feel like I do not have the time or the capacity or even the drive to create digital products, to design. A design eye and design hand is something that you could learn. I wouldn't say I'm a super creative person right now. I'm gonna say I am. But when I started, I would have said I'm not a creative person. But thanks to Etsy, I've actually started to paint a little bit as well. And I feel like I'm a pretty creative person now. But it has come through time. And when you start out, when you're a complete beginner with digital products, creating digital products, designing, you need to stay a little bit more focused. And when you feel you are confident in the creation process, in designing products, about the platform itself, and when you feel you are, solely directing yourself to Etsy, open up that new shop. When you have that first shop up and running, it's solid, your foundation is solid, go ahead. But if you're a multi-passionate person maybe who wants to juggle other things as well, just try to think that maybe opening up 3-4 shops at the same time is just not the best fit. So do just keep in mind, what are your capabilities? How many hours a day do you have? Like, we all have 24 hours, but all of our hours look very different. And for me, juggling all those shops, all of my other business ventures and interests that I have, and kids, and working out, and having still my trainer business as well, it was just a little bit too much. But I will say that I will be soon opening up another shop, but I am taking things slow. So I am not opening up a shop just for the sake of opening it up and trying to get a quick buck, because I know that if I do not enjoy the process, I'm gonna fold fast. Because when you enjoy the products you're creating, the shop that you're working on, I remember when I started right now the main shop, I enjoyed those moments sitting on my couch, having a cup of coffee, Netflix on the background, and I just enjoyed designing and creating so much. And I want to get back in the same spot with my Etsy, with my current shop, and with my new shop as well. Because right now I feel I have a totally a completely different niche of products that I want to create. And that is also a big thing, to start another shop or not. If your first shop is solid, you have the understanding, the foundation all set in place, and when you want to create something new, if it's a completely different category, completely different niche, then it's, again, most probably the best thing that you could do is create another shop, but only if you feel that you can manage it. So when I will create that new shop, I will take you on that journey as well. But to just take it all together, be aware of your own capabilities, try to enjoy the process, and be okay to fail, be okay to test out, to learn. I'm gonna say I'm like a pro at failing, starting again, learning, failing, doing, but it is literally the only way to get to where you want to get to. So try to stay away from the shiny object syndrome and try to focus on one thing at first, master that, try to win the day, and at one point you will look back and you have won the week, the month, the year, and you will figure it out along the way as you go. So I hope you liked this ramble today, and if you did, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well, so that we could see in the next video. Bye.